What's up, guys? What's up, all my buddy fighters? I am here to do a set 5 breakdown for Dragon World only for today. Um, the breakdowns for the other two worlds will be coming out this week as well. So, for me personally, Dragon World, I'm a huge Dragon World fan. I love Dragon World, so that's why I'm doing the Dragon World part, and my other two friends will be doing the other two worlds. So let's get this started. So our first spell card, which is a very important and probably one of the best spell cards for um, DDT, is called Gar Stream. So this card ability is you may cast this card if a card with G boost is on your field. For this turn, all DDT on your field cannot be rest, and your opponent affects. By your opponent's effect, my bad, or return to hand. And when a DDT on your field is stand by a card effect, you gain 1 life. You may only cast Gar Stream once per turn. So the anti-resting and the anti-bouncing is really good for DDT, is because right now I believe DDT does have anti-resting and anti-bounce, but they're all set spells. But this is actually a spell card for the whole entire turn, so it saves you space when you come to creating your deck. So, and every time when your monster stands or any DDT stands by a card effect, it gains 1 life. So that's include if the card has double attack, triple attacks, quadruple attacks, all those works. So if they have a double attack, then you're guaranteed to gain like 1 life no matter what. Unless they spell null this card, then yeah. But this card is actually really good. It's actually one of my favorite cards, and I cannot wait to have it. Because with G-Boost these days, a lot of cards could be bounced in G-Boost. So a lot of cards has bouncing mechanics. So if you can stop them from bouncing your cards, that's amazing. Or resting too, so they can't rest your cards, which is also great. Except if your opponent casts a spell that says that your monster cannot stand for the whole entire turn, then yeah, this card is not gonna work because it's preventing you from standing no matter what. You get that 1 attack. Like, don't get me wrong, you still get that 1 attack, but once you rest it, you can no longer stand due to their card effects. So this card is actually it's good, but at the same time it doesn't really work really well with against spell like that. But another good part is if they cast a spell like this, or if they cast a spell like that says, oh, the chosen monster cannot stand for the whole entire turn, what you can do is you could just swap that monster to a different one. That way the effect is gone. So, but this card's effect still would activate because you already cast it. So whenever you stand, you gain a life no matter what, and you can still basically you cancel out your opponent's effect because you're swapping out monsters. And that's the one thing that Garga has that I think that's a huge advantage, is that like they can swap out monsters whenever they want to. That's why I like this card. So one of my favorite cards of this set. And the second card is a very important item for G Boost Craft. So if you guys don't know, this set has a different G Boost type of mechanic called G Boost Craft. So it's a whole entire new deck. You cannot mix this. You cannot mix G Boost Craft with G Boost Base. That's the sad part. So G Boost Craft and G Boost Base is a whole entirely different build. I will not be playing G Boost Craft, but my best friend / teammate will be playing Craft, and dude, I'm not gonna lie, Craft is really good, to be honest with you. And to be like, in my opinion, Craft could actually beat G Boost Base just by pure like aggression. I think their aggressiveness compared to Base is almost the same. The only difference is Jibu's base hits you hard with a lot of damage, while Jibu's craft hits you the most, like hits you like basically rush you down and they burn you to death. That's the difference between craft and base, in my opinion. So craft have this ability where you can multi-attack. So it's like a rushing, restanding and rush, restanding and rush. They're a restanding build, basically. So the item is called DD Dragon Beam Sword Gar-like Saber. The funny thing is, I think in Japan it's called Rapier. So I don't know why it's called Saber. I mean, I like the name Saber, but I'm surprised they didn't call it Rapier. So, equip cost, pay 1 gauge and pay 1 life. Same thing as the beam sword, same thing as Garcris. If a dry god is on your field, all DDT on your field cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and their ability cannot be nullified by your opponent's card effect. Same abilities as beam sword, but the counter ability is different. So their counter ability is during your turn, if a card with G-Boost Craft is on your field, stand all cards on your field. This ability can only be activated once per turn. So, basically, like I said, it's about like G-Boost Craft is about restanding and attacking and restanding and attacking. And it says stand all DDT. It means it could stand itself as well, which is really, really, really good. Basically, their effects, like this card effects, is basically the same thing as Beam Sword or Beam. Yeah, I think it's called Beam Sword. Beam Sword, but the counter ability is different. This counter ability is pretty dangerous, actually, in my opinion. It's really, really good. I suggest like 3 to 4 of those, man. They're really good. Their size 1 is called Awaken DD Dragon Caliburn Gardra. So he is a 4/2/1, or yeah, 4/2/1. He has a counter ability called Brave Dragon Returns. If your cards have attacked 3 times or more during this turn, if a card with G-Boost Craft is on your field, you may pay 1 gauge. If you do, call this card from your drop zone to your field. You may only activate Brave Dragon Return once per turn. When this card is standby card effects for this turn, this card gets +1 critical. So, this skill right here, the last skill, is like when it says like every time it stands, you get +1 critical. That's stats. So if you attack 3 times, you know, if you attack 2 times, actually, no, 3 times. If you attack 3 times, it will be getting a +3 to this monster alone. So it's actually super dangerous. And Brave Dragon Return is an actual ability, so that you can basically it's an ability from the drop zone. So if you have them in your drop zone, you can always call them out every time when you attack 3 or more, which is very, very good. That means like you will always have another monster to attack with. If like you no longer have any attack extenders, such as Garkamon or Gar-Ikamon or anything like that, he will be your attack extender itself on the drop zone. So that card is really, really good as a size 1. Next one is a size 0. At the end of this card's battle, you may return this card from the field to hand. So basically just like Swallow, when this card is stand by a card effects, if a card with G-Boost Craft is on your field for this turn, all DDT on your field gets +5,000 power. So, like again, same thing as the size 1, the ability stacks. So if it attacks 3 times, that's 15,000 right there for free. That's 15,000 attack for free for all your DDT monsters, which is really, really powerful. And plus, like again, it's another attack extender for the fact that you return it to your hand. It means you can still attack this item. So this card is 100% like Swallow, except that Swallow has charge, draw, and life. This one just gets power. So almost exactly Swallow. Okay, and the new size 3. This size 3 is broken as hell. Evolution Storm Lestus Dragon. Pay 2 gauge and put the top card of your deck into its soul. If a Dry God is on your field, reduce the size of this card by 2. When this card attacks, Oh wait, when this card stands by a card effects, draw a card and deal 1 damage to your opponent. If a card with G boost is on your field, this card's attack cannot be nullified if it's attacking alone. This is basically your free FTK card with base. Think about this. Base, yeah, base on field, you have him on field. G boost, space activates, plus 1 million power, plus 2 criticals. He will be swinging for 3, and his attack cannot be nullified. The only way you could stop the FTK if you have like damage reductions, which I'm pretty sure a lot of cards have these days, but it's still a very good card. Just in case like they don't have it, then they're pretty much dead. And it has penetrate as well. So even though if it's like your opponent has a monster in their center, you could just penetrate it, which is really good. And it has Soul Guard, which is great. And the stand effects, even though this card doesn't have double attack, you can stand it with like your shield, like your G boost base shield. You can, when you do that, when you use that card to stand this, you get the 1 draw and your opponent deal 1 damage. So you're basically dealing 6 damage to your opponent, which is really good. I love this card. This is the card that I said that it's gonna replace the old size 3. Really good card. Oh god, this card. God E Intervention. This card is a must-have card for G Boost Craft, just because of its ability is retarded. You may only cast this card on your field if you use G Boost Craft. During this turn, counter, draw a card, and for this turn, when a card on your field is stand by a card effects, deal 1 damage to your opponent. And you may only cast God E Intervention once per turn. This card right here is clearly meant for G Boost Craft. For the fact that every time when it stands, you burn your opponent for 1. This is what I mean when I say burn, because this card, if you use this card correctly and if you play it right, you could burn up to 25 damage just by burning. Yes, 25 damage just by burn. That's excluding the attack damage. So this card is insane, super insane. Like, this card, it must be like a 3 or a 4 up, to be honest with you. It is too good. It is so good. Other card is called Goddammit. This is basically a new version of Goddammit. Basically for this one, you may only cast this card if your cards have attacked 3 or more times. Counter, put the top 2 cards of your deck into the gauge. Then if a card with G boost is on the field, call up to 1 size 1 the Dragon Tribe from your deck by paying its call cost and shuffle your deck. If you do draw a card, you may only cast Goddammit once per turn. So this card is actually really good too. The only problem is once per turn, which I don't like. I still like. It's not a secret. Like, everybody is still gonna continue to run Goddammit. I believe Goddammit people is gonna run less just for the fact that it's a once per turn card. The very impressive thing is you can call a size 1 monster from your deck. So meaning you cannot call size 0 just like Goddammit. With Goddammit you can call size 1 or less. This one, it has to be size 1. So if you're playing G Boost base, you'll be calling the dog or the 2 Garcats. You cannot call swallows, you can call nothing. Just those are the only 2 that you can call, which is really good because the cat is really good, the dog is good. I mean the other Garcat, like not the Awakening Deity Garcat, but like the OG Garcat. Yeah, I don't think like the only reason you would want to call that card if you want to gain the gauge and draw. Well, not just draw, but like the gauge itself, because Awakening Deity Garcat is a lot better card to call out, just because you gain you gain a life whenever you attack, and plus you get that 1 draw, and it has double attack, so it's really good. So yeah, Goddammit, really good card. I no doubt everybody's gonna run it, but depends on the person is how many they want to run in the deck. So next one is Ifa Gardra. At the end of this card attacks, if a card with G boost is on your field, you may put this card on your field into the drop zone. If you do, call up to one DDT monster from your hand by paying its call cost. When this card is stand by a card effect, you gain 2 life. This card is so good for craft, to be honest with you. This card is amazing for craft. One, basically when you attack with him, you could put him into the drop zone, right? And then when this card stands, you gain 2 life. So with him and Jibu's craft, you everybody gets triple attack. You are gaining like what, 4, 5, 6? You're getting 6 lives with this guy. Super amazing, and for the fact that you can call him from like you can put him to the drop zone and call a card from your hand by paying its call cost, which is ridiculous. Really, really good. Very powerful, in my opinion. Maybe a little bit too powerful. So this is a 5th army. So yeah, so for the Dragon World, there's gonna be 5th army as well in there for I'm assuming like 5th army decks. Yeah, that's it. Like armor dragons. I mean it's part of Dragon World, so I'm still gonna review it. I don't know, just to let you know right now, I don't know a lot about 5th armies because I have never played the deck or played against it in my life. So yeah. Counteract. You may choose a size 2 or greater monster in your drop zone with 5th army in its card name and put this card on the field into the drop zone. If you do, call the chosen card by paying its call cost and you take 1 damage. That card becomes a size 0 until it leaves the field. So I'm assuming the 5th army lord or the 5th army style is them burning themselves or them taking damage themselves and use effect for that, just like Angel Gates, I'm assuming. Dragon White Loyal Light of the 5th army. If there is a card with 5th army in its card name on your field, cast cost, you take 2 damage, counter, draw a card, and choose one of the following 2. You may only cast Dragon White Holy Light of 5th army once per turn. You gain 5 life, or for this turn, when a card on your field is destroyed, deal 2 damage to your opponent. Ooh, that sounds pretty good actually. Okay, so this is DDT's second item, which I think is kinda okay. I don't think it's that good to me, you know. I mean, if you want to like multiple attack, I guess you can run it. Otherwise, I don't suggest you running this card. So equip cost: put a DDT tribe on your field into the drop zone by paying pay 1 gauge. This card on the field cannot be destroyed by your opponent card effects or rest by your opponent card effect. Counteract: if your card have attacked 3 or more times this turn, you may equip this card from your hand by paying its equip cost. So it's kind of like item or equipment change kinda for Legend World, except that Dragon World now has it. I think it's, like I said, it's an okay card. It's just there to give you more attacks, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if anybody would run that. I personally wouldn't. Size 2 Melza Guard Dragon. Call cost: put a card on your drop zone into its soul and pay 1 gauge. If you have a Dragon, reduce the size of this card by 1. When this card is stand by a card effects, choose a monster or an item on your opponent's field. Drop 1 of that card's soul and destroy that card. So I'm gonna tell you what this card is meant to go up against. This card is clearly meant to go up against Demon Dragons, because you could drop a soul of any card and destroy that card. And Demon Dragon's Umbrella had 2 souls. So yeah, this card is clearly meant for Demon Dragons. Really good. Like I said, it's only a matchup card because it's only against Demon Dragons or against any cards that has soul. But if they have anti-destruction, then you can destroy it. So it's clearly just meant for Demon Dragons. Battle DD Flash Roar. Oh my god, I love this card. This is actually one of my favorite nulls, and I will run it in Jibu space. You may only cast this card during an attack on your opponent's turn, and if a DDT is on your field. Counter, nullify the attack. Then, if a card with G boost is on your field, choose a card that attacked, and for this turn, that card cannot stand. So, you can use this card for a lot of different ways, but I think majority of the time you would use this card against Demon Dragons, because if they attack with you with their 666 crits, you can nullify the attack, and you could choose that card from standing. So basically, you're done. You're done with the threat, basically, because they can no longer stand, and whatever they cast, they can't stand it because there's nothing to go around it, unless they want to replace their 666 monster with another one. But so far I don't really see that happening, because I don't think Demon Dragons have cards that allows them to call that allows them to replace card like DDT does. Next card, Rabbit. Awaken Deity Dragon Goddammit. At the end of this card's battle, you may put this card on your field into the drop zone. If you do draw a card, when this card is stand by card effects, put the top cards of your deck into your gauge. This is another card that is a gauge excel, which is kind of good for G-Boost Craft, because they use a lot of gauges. So this is a pretty good card for them, and they get to get a free draw every time when they attack, when you put her in the drop zone. So that's pretty good. This is a reprint, Gigantic Exchange. So I know what this card does already. Basically, you put the top card of your deck into your gauge, right? And then you look at all of them, and then you choose one of those cards, and then you add it to your hand. And then you put a card from your hand and you put it into the gauge. It's like a swap, basically. It's like you look at all your gauges, you choose one, you add it to your hand, and then you put a useless card that's on your hand and you put it in the gauge. So you gain a gauge, basically. It's a +1 to gauge, in my opinion. So this card is actually really good, and it's good that they're doing a reprints, because I feel like a lot of people is actually looking for Dragonite Exchange, and it's pretty hard to get now. So it's good that they're making a reprint of it, which is amazing. I believe this is 5th only. Okay, so yeah. So Dragon Bright 5th only Light. Cast cost: you take 1 damage, put the top cards of your deck into your gauge, and put up to 1 monster with 5th only in its card name from your drop zone into your hand. You may only cast Dragon Bright 5th only Light once per turn. Like I said, I don't know a lot about 5th Omnis, but if you guys play the deck, then you guys are getting supports, and I'm assuming that's gonna be a good card. I don't know, so yeah, sorry about that. And one of our last cards, Battle DD Flame / Wave. This card is amazing too. Holy crap! And I'm gonna tell you a funny thing. This card is also clearly to be used against Demon Dragons. So you may only cast this card if a card with G boost is on your field. Cast cost: pay 1 gauge, choose a card on your opponent's field, drop all soul of that card and destroy it. It is meant to use to destroy the umbrella. Simple as that. It is a counter card to Demon Dragons. And our last card is gonna be up here, a dual world card, Gargantua Blade Centaur. Dragon, basically you can use it in any deck you want. Call cost: pay 2 gauge and put the top cards of your deck into its soul. G-Boost Craft: at the beginning of your attack phase for this turn, all cards in your field gets double attack. If another DDT is on your field for this turn, all cards in your field gets triple attack instead. It has move and it has Soul Guard. My god! Imagine all the burn that you could do to your opponent with all these cards, especially if they have Gargamon, and then they switch into Gargamon, and oh man, this deck is amazing. It has a lot of draw power, it has a lot of gauge excel, it has a lot of aggressiveness and it has a lot of defense against like against a lot of decks. Like I said, this deck can beat G-Boost crap super easily, like super easily. It's not even it's that good. So like I'm actually a little bit afraid of this deck, but I'm gonna be helping my best friend to make the best craft out there, and hopefully like we can um do all you G craft players proud. And yeah, dude, man, this deck is it's already looking amazing, to be honest with you. It's already looking stupid good. So that's it for the Dragon World breakdown, because all the cards has been released already. We're just waiting for this till the set comes out. If you guys have any questions about any of these cards, please let me know and leave your comments down below. If you guys have wants to know like, oh, how do I make the deck good, or you need any tips, also leave them down below. We would love to read them, and we will respond to you as soon as possible. And one last message: I would like to thank card protagonists for basically telling me that my G-Boost deck helps him improve his build. So thank you for that, and I hope I can see you at Worlds. I mean, we still have a long way to go, so I hope I can see you at Worlds. Yeah. Uh, Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Depends on when you guys are watching. I mean, if you guys can see, I am recording this at 10:25 p.m. So I would still have to edit the video and all that stuff. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day, and happy July 1st. Thank you. Bye.